This is Christy Bradbourne. Welcome to PQP1 and PQP2, our first online ever PQP, so we're pretty excited about that. With me is Denise Baxter, but I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a principal here at Ogden Community School in Lakehead District School Board, so that's in Thunder Bay. So welcome to you who aren't from Thunder Bay, but to everybody from the surrounding region. I've been a principal with the board now for 3 years. I was a vice principal prior to that for 3 years as well. And I was a teacher since 2001, so it's been a long, fun career, and have enjoyed it. I've taught PQP1 before. We did this just in the summer when it was still face-to-face, and now we're excited to move on into an online environment. So I'll let Denise take it from there.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Denise Baxter. I'm currently on leave from a principal position with Lakehead District School Board to the Ministry of Education and the Student Achievement Division. So I've had the distinct pleasure of working with school boards around the province over the past 3 years on a variety of different projects, including the First Nations Métis Inuit Collaborative Inquiry, and then of course boards from the Northwestern Ontario region. I started my teaching career in 1993 working in a remote First Nation community, both as a teacher and a brand new principal, and realized at that early time in my life I needed more experience in order to be a more effective leader. But nonetheless, I had the bug. So I left the community I was in after 5 years and applied for a job as a teacher with Lakehead District School Board, and have since 1998 been working within the school board. Also spent 1 year opening up a secondary First Nations private school, and so had the pleasure of working with several students on that in communities, but also going through the entire process that the ministry has on school accreditation, working within a First Nations community and a private school setting for secondary. I have to say that I'm quite excited about doing this. It feels like I'm venturing off on a nice little adventure, and we are very pleased to be the first university in the province to be accredited to teach this course online fully, 100% of the course. And so we're in a sense piloting for the Ontario College of Teachers and the university this process. So as we work together, the feedback that you can give us and each other through this process to make improvements, micro improvements as we go, will certainly be of great value to not only the university but the Ontario College of Teachers and to the other students in the course.
We certainly are not, we'll admit right up front that we're not the online Google or Hangout experts. But what we have learned as we've gone, and we do know this is much like what we're piloting in my own school right now, trying to become a bit more of an online and collaborative community through technology. So knowing that there's expertise, little pockets of expertise out there, we're trying to utilize each other's strengths, and that's something we'll ask you to do as well. So if you can share with us your ideas, your expertise, that would be much appreciated. It will only improve the course for all of us and future generations who go through it, so that is appreciated. And remembering that this is a collaborative learning environment, and we are actually learning right along with you in this.
One of the things that you'll notice when you move to the modules is at the end of each module we have a Google Doc in each module that asks 3 questions for feedback. So we'll be looking at those questions as they come in, at the responses, and we'll be making changes to the course. So the course as it looks right now will very likely ebb and flow and change and evolve as we go through the next 7 weeks together. That being said, if you have an idea for us or a concern or there's a dead link or any of those things, please email us right away. There's both of us will be online throughout the day, here and there. And so always one of us will be able to respond to that. So we are also not only doing this online, but we're actually co-teaching the entire course together because we figure we learn better with collaboration. So we'll have a stronger course for it.
Okay.
Now we have a phone, or not even a phone call, an email in to a company in the United States that does the EQI, which is the Emotional Quotient 2.0 Inventory Personal Assessment. And this is a very valuable tool that both of us have had the opportunity to go through as we did our superintendent's courses over the last 5-6 years. And it's one of the key pieces for the PQP Part 1 that the Ontario College of Teachers is requiring. So as that comes available, we'll be sending you a link, and then you can sign up with them directly and give them your credit card information directly. So it's like another textbook for the course. The benefit is that you'll be using it for Part 1 and Part 2. But more importantly, it really is a great reflective tool for yourself as a leader and as a leader in your school right now and as you move forward. It gives you ideas about and specific pieces about what you're really strong at, but what are the areas of growth that you really want to pursue. And so when you're building your growth plan for yourself, this will be a nice tool, I think, to help you to do that.
It'll help with a few things that you'll be required, whether you're in the role right now or whether you're moving into the role, wishing to. Most of your philosophy of educations are going to ask you about your personal resources and what you bring to leadership, and they'll be looking for the quadrants, or excuse me, the domains that come from the EQI. It also does align, as Denise said, with your annual growth plan as well. And it's become really enshrined in the OCT's qualifications as the last part, personal resources, and that's where you'll be drawing from. That's where you'll be drawing the information from. That EQI will help you really identify what your personal resources are and where your areas for growth are and your areas of strength. So it is extremely valuable. You will use it throughout your career. I've done it once with my PQP courses in Orangeville, and then have had the opportunity to again do that with my SOQP courses. And so it is a very valuable learning tool. So we will be offering that to you just as soon as the company gets us the link.
Okay, and if you have already had the opportunity to take that course, just please use the piece that you have. I know Ontario Principals Council offers that as an additional course you can take, and so some of you may have already had the opportunity to take that within the last 3 or 4 years. So if you have, please don't take it again unless you wish. Just use the information that you have.
Yeah, and one of the textbooks that you were asked to get, the EQ Edge, the activities in there will align with the domains on the EQI 2.0. And it'll also give you some great ideas. EQ Edge gives you some great ideas for how to address areas for growth, and some ideas about where your areas of strength are and what those look like in practice.
Now, this Part 1 course, like all the Part 1 courses that Lakehead University has offered in the past, is the course where you actually decide on your practicum, which you present and complete as part of your Part 2. So we will be posting the information for you on the site, so you can have a look there under the Part 1, and under resources we'll put them as well, in a Word document so that you can actually type directly into them. One of the key pieces that we would like to offer for that is the fact that not only will we be looking for a mentor in your own workspace, and we know some of you are overseas and in other provinces, but it can be anybody either close by or virtually that you feel can mentor you through an actual project that you have to spend a minimum of 50 hours on completing in order to present and complete Part 2. What we would like to offer you is an opportunity to have like a face-to-face conversation virtually. Currently the platforms that we both work on are Google Hangout, Skype, and FaceTime. And there may be others, I'm sure, out there that we don't know. So if there's another one that you would like to use, just send us an email link and let us know, and we'll figure out how to use it. And by all means, be happy to have a conversation with you face-to-face. But we both feel that having the opportunity to have a conversation and put some questioning back and forth is a nice way to do that. And similarly, we'll ask you to submit that to us through the email form. You can just put it in the Google part, and then we can edit right in it for you and give you feedback. So if you can share us editing rights with that, we'll then print it off. Well, we have digital signatures. We'll put those digital signatures on, put it in our files, give you back a file for yourself, and then you're free to start working on your project. So typically those projects have really ranged, but the main thing I want you to think about is working within the leadership framework of the Ontario Leadership Framework. So be thinking about a project that allows you opportunity to do some form of leadership and develop your own leadership skills within that 50-hour time period. Most of the time they're projects that are much bigger than 50 hours, but for the purposes of this course you only have to log the first 50 or 50 of your choosing, and then submit your final project based on that.
And so that's for our Part 2 participants that are also seeing this video. Those Part 2 participants will be submitting their completed practicum forms and proposals to us, and then they will be they will actually be signing up for groups in Part 2. Yes. So there'll be some instructions as you go through Part 2 on how to sign up for a group to present yours, and there'll be 5 to 6 roughly presentations, each module starting with Module 2, and those will be presentations of your practicum in some form that is electronic and video or voiceover, so that folks can kind of interact with it. So there's that piece for the Part 2 folks, and we'll be signing virtually from here as well. So we'll talk some more. You'll see those sort of things introduced in your modules in Part 2 if you're part of our Part 2.
Now, if anything happens and you notice, well, we have just recently checked all the links and put all the links up. The internet is a wild and crazy place, so it's very possible that those links have changed since yesterday. So if you notice that there's a dead link, if you can just send us an email and let us know, we'll find the current link and we'll stick it right back up there for everybody else to see. Please don't sit wherever you live and be frustrated about some technology that's not working for you. Please reach out to us. If we don't have the expertise, we work with a great guy, Anthony, at the university, who has a lot of expertise in this area. But one thing that we do know, and we met several people last year in our Part 1 course, there are a lot of people in the platform that have experience teaching AQ courses online, that may be the IT TELC leads for their boards, are just maybe quite honestly just very much in the e-learning world and are very comfortable. So we'll also look to each other for that support, not just us, because like any leader, we're learning leaders, and recognize that you don't have to know everything, you just have to be willing to try and figure it out as you go. So, and learning from each other. So we just want to encourage you to keep that mindset and recognize that yes, things may not go as smoothly as we hope. We've troubleshooted everything we thought of, but as we all know, best laid plans, sometimes other things arise that we haven't quite anticipated.
And for those of you who are completely brand new to any really online learning environment, which there are probably few and far between these days, but we have provided you with, in Module 1, for both Part 1 and Part 2, some really intro videos into how to do things like Google Hangout, how to do videos on YouTube, how to create your own YouTube channel, how to make them private, how to share them with people. We've also introduced you how to do Google Plus and Padlet and a few other really helpful environments, online learning environments that we'll be using here. We would love for people to share other ones, and so if you have intro videos into other ones, please feel free to post them in the D2L area so that people can look at them and learn from them as well, and we will too. So we wanted to be sure everybody has at least a starting background, so you will find in Module 1 intro videos on how to do many of the things that will help you at least stay in the course if it's your first time doing something like that. So,
and for those of you who are very comfortable in this platform, feel free to just kind of whip through that and say, check, okay, I got that, I know how to do that, and move on. So one thing I do want to caution you, because this course is only 7 weeks, it will move quickly. We have to cover 125 hours of virtual face-to-face time within that 100, like in 7 weeks. Yeah. So it's roughly 20 hours a week. I think it's 18, we figured it out too. Yeah. So just know that I know it's spring, I know it's busy, school life tends to get a bit crazy, especially depending on what job you have in May and June in the school. But really try to carve out some time every day, because if you try to do 18 hours on the weekend, it's going to be not a good scene, I think, for May and June, because as we know, we all need our personal time as well in there for all the things that spring brings us, outdoor and exercise, and certainly a lot of fun with friends and family. So really, one of the key things about being a good leader is knowing how to do that balance. But really taking a bite out of the work every single day is one way to help you do that. So whether it's an early morning, whether it's on your lunch hour or your breaks, or at the end of your school day, or in the evening, whenever is your best time that you find you have time to work, please try to grab like an hour or two every single day to work through this. And that way you'll keep your sanity about you and leave this course feeling quite happy and accomplished.
One of the great things about being online is that you don't have to wait. If you have a great thought or you have a great idea, you don't have to wait until class time to actually share it with people. And so that's one of the things we want to be sure that everybody understands. We want you to enjoy yourself here. One of the greatest things about this online environment is you'll be able to collaboratively learn at any time. Mm-hmm. So you can share those thoughts, share those ideas. You can get a Google Hangout together at any time with folks from your course, and we hope that you'll look at it that way, that it's an opportunity to really reach out. We have people signed up for the course from as far away as Poland, so there's an opportunity to learn from people not only in a larger regional perspective, but a provincial perspective, but perhaps a national and international perspective. So please take that opportunity to really access each other and use it, because that's the way you're going to get the most out of this kind of a course.
So with that said, we'd like to welcome you to the PQP Part 1 and Part 2 course at Lakehead University in Thunder Bay, and wish you well. And we look forward to meeting you all in a virtual environment. I know some of you that we met already in the Part 1, and some of other people I've met around the province through my job, and so they're joining us as well. So,
we'll see you online.
All right.
All right.